Good day, my beautiful friends. Today I'm going to do the message that came through a little bit different than I normally do. So I usually explain what visual I got and then go into what the interpretations could mean. And I do want to say you are free to interpret the visuals that I get however you like. But today I want to actually go over the message that I received for the collective first, and then I'll explain the scene that came through. And I do want to say that this message, it really didn't seem like it was specifically for the divine feminines or that it was specifically for the divine masculines. It seemed more a message for a particular part of the collective, which included both energies. So while I was channeling, I realized that every so often in our life we have these fateful moments. And these are the moments that you do not see coming. But you can recognize the impact that they had on your life at a particular point in time. You often can't even truly explain why every little thing lined up at that exact moment in time. And these moments are mysterious, but that's what makes them beautiful. So the person I'm channeling seems to be coming up to a fateful event in their life. One that is going to happen when they least expect it. And your guides are wanting you to be prepared for when it does happen. Now, they are specifically showing me that it is going to be a conversation that is going to happen that is going to change the direction of your life. Now, in my visual this morning, I saw a very specific scene from The Pursuit of Happiness. And The Pursuit of Happiness is actually a movie that probably came out, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. And it has Will Smith playing the main character, whose name is Chris Gardner. And actually in the movie, Will Smith's son plays little Chris Jr., who is Chris Gardner's son. So before I explain the visual that I got, I want to give you a little bit of the backstory that was going on up till the visual that I got. So in this movie, Chris really wanted to provide for his family, and he always wanted to be there for his family. It was incredibly important to him for him to do these things. So he becomes a salesman of medical supplies, but really the income is unstable because it really depends on how much medical supplies you sell with how much money you earn. So there really was not much security in this job. And because of the unreliable earnings, Chris's marriage began to deteriorate. And actually, it didn't even survive. So after that all crashes, he starts getting behind in life, and his bills start getting behind. I think at one point he owed some parking tickets, he owed back rent, he owed the IRS. I mean, things were just piling up at this point. But he still goes to work, he still talks to people, he still has an optimistic outlook on life. He's pretending to these people that he's talking to that nothing really is going on at home. You wouldn't be able to tell it if you talked to him. And that's where the scene in my focus state came in. So on this particular day, Chris is walking down the busy street in his suit, and it's a beautiful day outside, and he's on his way to see a doctor to sell some medical equipment to. And as he's walking down this busy street, he sees a man parking his red Ferrari near the curb. So Chris goes up to him, banters with him, and he asks him two very simple questions. What do you do for a living? And how do you do it? It was then that the man explained that he was a stockbroker. So Chris followed up with, "Oh, you must have to have a college education to do that job." Which the man replied, "Actually, no. You have to be good with numbers and you have to be good with people. That's it." And then the man goes off into the stockbroker's building and he starts working. And Chris stood there for a second and he just absorbed what the man had just told him. Because of that chance conversation with that man, it changed Chris's life forever. Because of that meeting, Chris realized that there was a potential door that he could open where he could be a stockbroker and own a Ferrari and have a home and have bills that were paid. And you know, the crazy thing is, when Chris woke up that morning, you know he never anticipated that he was going to encounter this gentleman on his way to go sell medical supplies. He got up, he got ready, he put his suit on, and he was prepared to go talk to these doctors and try to sell them something. And I feel like this is how the conversation is going to happen for you. Now, I will say there are so many different things that this conversation could be about. It's really going to depend on your situation because remember, this message is for a group of people. So each person will have to interpret it in their own way. But I know I'm channeling someone who is intuitive enough to do it. Your guides want you to know beforehand so that you take this conversation seriously. Now, you do still have free will, so whether you choose to follow the path is totally up to you, but the communication will get to you regardless. And you will know because it's going to come through a fateful event. One where you hear the exact thing you need to hear at the exact moment that you need to hear it. This could be over the future of your relationship, the future of your career, the future of your health, the future of your wealth, the future of your family, the future of where you will live in life. Whatever it will be the answer to the question that you have been contemplating. Now, somebody's guides are wanting to say, set it and forget it. So what I'm getting is, don't go out looking for this specific message from someone, okay? Don't go talking to every person on the street thinking you're going to find this fated conversation. Don't be talking to people on social media thinking you're going to go out and find this. This is something you will receive when you least expect it. So you can't be expecting at every single moment or it won't come through. So it's kind of like if you order something online and then it takes a couple days to get to you and you totally forgot that you ever even ordered it. Yep, have that energy, okay? Don't be looking out at your porch every single hour to see if this package has been delivered. It will arrive. Just trust. And I also want to remind you that this message can come through a variety of different ways. Don't look at it as you're going to receive it in a specific way, like walking down the street and meeting someone. It doesn't just have to come through another human. You can read a book, and maybe there is a message within it that changes your life. You can watch a movie, and some kind of seed is planted within you to make a change. Or you may come into contact with someone you haven't even seen in years. You may even have a random conversation you didn't see coming with the people that you see every day in your life. Whatever this message is, it's going to affect your destiny. And this conversation is definitely going to plant a seed within you that you can nurture and grow. Now, in this movie, the main character, Chris, actually networks and becomes an unpaid intern at a stock brokerage. And from there, he overcomes many obstacles and actually gets hired full time. And then in real life, he overcomes even more and actually opens his own stock brokerage. So Chris had to put in the work. But the fated talk he had with the man in the red Ferrari placed a door of potential in front of Chris that he could take. Okay, so someone's guides. Okay, so this is a very, very specific message, and it's not going to resonate with everyone. But someone's guides are showing me that the conversation will be from a boss or a manager, and you will be let go from a job, and not to be concerned with that, because actually this is meant to change your trajectory and move you into a career that is better suited for your best and highest good. And your guides must really love you, because they want to come here so that you're prepared for that message, and just not be optimistic like Chris was, because this is actually for your best and highest good. So even if the conversation seems hard, there's still magic within it, okay? Okay, so now I want to draw some tiles from my bag of synchronicities. So if you resonate with any of these tiles, let me know, because I would love to know who this message is for. Okay, so the first tile I drew was clarity. Ooh, this is a good one. So, you are going to gain some clarity on a life choice. And some of you actually may be seeing some type of situation clearer than you have in the past. So, what does this tile mean to you? Are you asking for clarity, or have you had a recent event where things have been clear to you or made clear? I just invite you to reflect on that. Okay, so let's choose tile number 2. Ooh, momentum. I am loving these tiles today. So it's possible in the prior weeks that you have been tired or fatigued or needed rest. But now you have this stored energy within you that's ready to release. You're ready to do something. You're ready to act. You're ready to move forward. And once you start acting, you gain momentum. So let's draw our final tile. Let's make it a special one. I mixed them all up. Tile number 3. Justice. So this one's interesting. So for some, this could be a chance encounter that could serve up some justice with maybe a legal matter. Maybe you figure out how to overcome this legal matter by talking to the right person. Or maybe something at your work has not been going your way, and suddenly you receive some justice, like a job promotion, or maybe even a new job offer that could send you in a totally different direction in life. Even your personal relationships, maybe you encounter someone who comes to apologize to you because they have done you wrong. I would actually really love to know why this one came out for someone. So share with me if you resonate with that tile. And I do want to say, I am proud of you for coming this far on your journey. Not everyone is as strong as you are and can overcome all of the things that you have overcame. And I want to thank you for co-collaborating with me on these messages for the collective, because I truly couldn't do it without you. Mwah.